This is a story about our first ever gig in Glasgow.
So we'd only been a band for like under a year, and then randomly we had an offer come through one day to go and play a gig in Glasgow.
So we said yeah, and we started looking for our first ever tour van. Now we were mega skint at the time, and we only had 2 tunes out, so we couldn't even afford like a SIM card, as you can see. So when it comes to bands, we were looking at like the bottom of the barrel.
This is where it gets interesting. So it's a mega long drive to Glasgow from Birmingham. So we asked the van driver to get to us for 7 AM.
We were outside our rehearsal studio at 7 AM sharp, bags packed and all that. But there was absolutely no sign of this geezer we booked and his van.
So eventually it gets round to 9:30 and this horrid looking van flies around the corner.
So this driver hops out of his van, right, and I don't know if anyone's seen the Polar Express, but this guy looked like the geezer who sleeps on top of the train. So everything was going mega until we got about halfway up the M6 and we heard this big bang. The front tyre had fallen off the front of the van.
So we stood on the side of the M6 and we thought the dream was over, but then this geezer hops out of the van, hands each of us a high-vis with Taylor Swift's face on the back, and then gets down on his hands and knees rather than calling the AA and replaces the tyre himself.
He cut all of his arm on shards of glass on the tarmac, right, and it was that bad like we thought we were going to have to call him an ambulance, like he was bleeding out, but he stands up, shrugs it off and goes, "Nah mate, rock and roll, anything to get you boys there."
Against all the odds, we arrive in Glasgow on time, at the venue, ready for a sound check.
Stage time, we get up, we walk on stage, and there's not a soul in the room.
So our dressing room was a literal toilet, mate, and it looked exactly like the one from Trainspotting, which is pretty fitting to be fair.
While we were on stage, our toilet / dressing room had exploded everywhere, and there was literally human excrement just floating around all our earthly possessions.
As we were leaving, won't name names, but a prominent figure in Scottish music decided to call our bassist a big specky. Probably true, to be fair.
And we had to spend a 6-hour drive home listening to this driver just ranting about how we couldn't get cams past 10 PM in Scotland.
We were all mad late and hungover for our little part-time jobs the next morning.
Fast forward a couple of years and we've sold out our biggest ever headline show in Glasgow at King Tut's. So it was all worth it in the end, wasn't it?